Good morning. Good morning. Give everybody a minute to silence those cell phones. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church. We are a welcoming congregation where we strive to transform ourselves and the world through love, wonder, and connection. My name is Shelley Smith. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve on the worship team and also as the chair of the nominating committee. Whether you are here for the first time or the 1,000th time, welcome. Whatever you are facing in your own life, welcome. This is a place where we try our best to be real with one another, to get through hard things together, and to remind ourselves and one another of the values that ground and center us, that motivate and move us. Whoever you are, whatever your faith journey, whomever you love, you are welcome here. We seek all who seek to know the sacred and all who seek to make our world more just. Our commitment is to be together in covenant, to live out our values, and to work together towards our mission. These are what makes a church. These are what make our church. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in our affirmation of who this community is, beginning with that all-important word. Love is the message of this church, and service is our way. This is our great covenant together, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Let's join in singing our opening hymn, Lady of the Season's Laughter, number 51 in the gray hardback hymnal. My name is Reverend Sarah, and I use she, her pronouns. I invite Sarah, Maxwell, and James, and your other son, who I can't remember his name right now because my brain is foggy. Ethan, yes, James and Ethan, everyone come up and light a chalice with me. We light this chalice with gratitude for all the caregivers who have made our lives what they are today. Blow it out. Good job. Thank you. May we be blessed, and may we be a blessing. Thank you all for helping. So this month we're continuing our experiment of centers of connection in the worship service. We have 3 centers you can join as we go through this time. We have our candles of joys and sorrow. We have our stones of hopes and fears. And we also have our art project of pluralism, which you can see over here is starting to take some shape, where you will take a blob of paper and write your inspiration and attach it to the wall so we make a creative project together. So after our prayer time, which will be coming up right next, I'll invite you to interact with these centers. First, I'll ask people who do not want to rise and come to the centers themselves to raise a hand, and I will have someone come to you, or we will name you for lighting a candle. And if you're online, you can put your name in the chat box and we'll do the same. And then the third way is you can rise and come and interact any way you would like. So however you interact with these centers, use this time to reflect on what you're carrying in your heart today and how you can best share that in this community to help us hold it with you. So I now invite you into a time of prayer and meditation. Find a comfortable place for your body. Notice your breathing. We'll share these words from author Linda Hart. Those who gave us life. From where we have come, this breath, these fingers, a heart that opens and closes, opens and closes. What is it that made this body, feet and legs, hair and teeth? We come into consciousness in the middle of the story. The world and its vast life reaches far before we knew and grasps at the future that we cannot see. And here we are, living these days for better or worse. Whatever acts of chance occurred to bring us to birth, whatever happenstance laid this particular path for our lives, in these moments of calm and stillness, let our hearts open in gratitude for the gifts that can be found along the way, for love given, sweet and free, for the peace of the morning and the warm colors of the sunset, for the grace of companions and moments of ongoing birth as our hearts are renewed, and for those who have offered us the gift of parenting. No matter their age or gender, those who have tended and cared, who have offered support and comfort, who have companioned us, those who have given us life by birth or by their presence in our lives, recognizing the grief that often comes with such memories. Let us open in compassion for our broken hearts, for lost parents, for parents who could not love us as we needed, parents who abandoned us, and especially for those whose longing for children was never met. In the stillness of these moments, I invite you now to speak aloud the names of those who have given you life, who have companioned you, and who are held in your heart this day. Amen. So we will begin our time of centers of connection with those who would like to raise their hand. So please raise your hand if you would like a candle lit for you. Porter. Peter. Our small friend in the back, wave your hand. There you go. Mel. Is there someone else over here? Okay. Now, raise your hand if you would like a stone of hope or fear added to the sand for you, holding a hope or a fear in your heart. Thank you. Excellent. Now, if you would like someone to add inspiration to our art board and you don't feel like you are moved to come do it yourself, please raise your hand and we will bring you a piece of paper and a pencil. Thank you. Now, if you are moved to interact with these centers of connection, you may rise in body or spirit and come, rise and come, and interact, any or all of them. We'll light a candle for Diane and Gail in joy and thankfulness. And we'll light one final candle for all the joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts unshared. I invite you all to sing with me our sung prayer response. There is a love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all my rest in this love.
Part of mothering is doing things on the fly. So good morning. My name is Adina Danuf. I use she or they pronouns, and I am your Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. And I'm sure many of you know that today is a special day for some people, so I want to start by saying Happy Mother's Day to all of you. But I also know that Mother's Day can be hard for some people, and for many different reasons. Some people who want children and never had them or just don't have them yet. Some people carry their children in their hearts because they're no longer living. Some people have strained relationships with their children. Some people's mothers are no longer here. Some people have strained relationships with their mother, and some have never had a mother in their lives. And to each of those people today, it may be a little hard, so we offer them some gentle love and support from our hearts. And that is why I always like to think of this day as a celebration to all motherly people around us, yeah? Yeah, because not just someone who birthed you, but anyone who loves and supports you the way that a mother would. I think they all deserve to be recognized. And I learned that the origins of this holiday for the United States go back to about 1870, when Julia Ward Howe, who was an abolitionist and a Unitarian, and best remembered poet who wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic, right? Glory, glory, hallelujah. Yeah. Okay, so she worked to establish a Mother's Day for peace. For peace. She dedicated the celebration to the eradication of war and organized festivities in Boston for years and years. If that's not a mother's work, right? Doing it for years and years. And then by 1873, 18 cities, it spread. 18 cities were holding gatherings of people, just like Boston, where Howe started the tradition, and they continued to observe the day for more than a decade. She was calling for peace from war, so that mothers didn't have to lose their children to fighting. How poignant is that right now? I feel like we need a day for peace. So in 1907, Anna Jarvis of Philadelphia began the campaign to have Mother's Day officially recognized. And in 1914, so it took a while, again, mother's work, right? President Woodrow Wilson did this. He proclaimed a national holiday and a public expression of our love and reverence for all mothers. So in honor of that, I want you to kind of settle a little bit and think about someone in your life that mothers you, right? Someone that parents you, someone that cares for you. Someone that you have a special relationship with who nurtures you and watches over you, or anyone. Think about birth moms or adopted moms or foster moms or stepmoms or fur moms, stand-in moms, chosen moms, dad moms, moms of angels or angels who are moms, parents, friends. There are some of those in this room. I know you're here. So I want you to think about motherly people, and I want you to gather love and reverence and respect and hope and everything in your heart. Do you feel that in your heart? Is your heart full? I hope so. And I want you to send it out, okay? And we're going to do that together, and we're all going to say a big thank you on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Whoa, that was huge. Great job. And thank you for mothering this community, too. We're going to head to class.
Please join me in our offering and acknowledging all the ways we give to this church and this world. We give because this is our church, and we value what it does for us, to us, and through us, to our community and our world. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this church inside and outside our walls. May we give in love and in hope. Thank you for your offering and all the ways you give to our life and ministry with your time, talent, treasure, and trust. Together, our gifts allow us to expand and strengthen the tapestry of love, wonder, and connection that blesses this church and transforms our world. This morning, our readings come from Rattle Poetry Magazine's Tribute to Single Parent Poets, Our first reading is Incidentals by Penny Freeland. It's not that I have any love for the making. Long lists for the grocer, vacation, what bills need paying, and how much. Lists with simple arithmetic in the margin. They are always to do. It's all about remembering, or the forgotten thing may kill me. Mammogram tomorrow, mail check to the IRS, put together your New York City go bag. My love comes from the crossing out. Con Ed with a straight line through, Verizon with a horizon in ballpoint blue. Sometimes I write things I've already done just so I can cross them. Be born, have babies, let them fly away. Our second reading is Emily on Tuesday by Ken Holland. Saturday night, my daughter told me how much Parmesan to mix in the Alfredo. She prefers her fettuccine al dente. She is smug and confident and in my face. If we haven't rented a movie, she'll watch commercials and point out which models I should date. Emily, I want to ask her, how is it you know so much? I mean, what did I know at 7? I want to ask her, but that's not something I can do on a Tuesday.
Can I tell you a secret? I'm exhausted. Being a parent and a full-time minister and a good spouse are each very fulfilling and difficult and also very important to me. And so I do my best at each, and I am exhausted. Being a millennial parent is harder than it was to be a parent 15, 20 years ago, and certainly I think more than 40 years ago when I was raised. I mean, harder's relative, right? But it's a little harder now. As we know, parenting is never easy with the judgments and expectations of culture around us for the choices that we make, that we don't make, that we don't really have a choice about and don't make it any easier. Poet Julia Claire Tinglis says this: parenthood, especially single parenthood, often forces a crisis of selfhood. Most of the things that facilitate a well-developed sense of self become scarce, very suddenly, and for a long time. So our readings this morning both came from the Rattle Poetry magazine's tribute to single parent poets. 36 parents who were single or had been single wrote about some of what make the experiences of parenthood challenging, especially when there isn't anyone to share that burden with. In the poem Incidentals, we hear about the way that parents hold a mental load, making lists, keeping track, doing things, crossing it off, finding that there's never enough to share the responsibility, and that very often adds to the stress. In the poem Emily on Tuesdays, we hear from joint custodial parent about how hard it is to be separated from their child part-time, the way that their joy and humor and intelligence echo in an empty house. Being a parent is hard and exhausting and rewarding. And not being a parent when you desperately want to be is a different kind of hard, a different kind of heartbreak. Having a day to celebrate parenting, this one, the maternal one, brings up all the hard things about being in a relationship with a caregiver. People who've lost their mothers, no matter how long ago, can find it hard to be reminded of the loss. People who've never had a mother or who weren't treated well by their parents or mothers find it hard to celebrate what others celebrate. Parenting and being parented is hard. Cheryl Strayed, a help columnist, a Dear Abby type, wrote to one of her requests that when it comes to our children, we do not have the luxury of despair. If we rise, they will rise with us every time, no matter how many times we've fallen before. I hope you'll remember that the next time you fail, I hope I will remember that as well. Remembering that is the most important work that parents can possibly do, that they will rise as we rise. We do not have the luxury of despair. We don't have the luxury of meaningful rest, especially as single parents or working parents. We don't have the luxury of knowing ourselves much removed from our children. Yet we do have the luxury of knowing our children and being raised, that they are being raised to be good people and to live out their values in the world. Theresa May Chu writes, "The Road. I say my children are like lightning bugs. I see how they glow in the dark. Sometimes it's the only light I see." We see their light, and it keeps us going forward. It keeps us moving when it feels like there's nothing left to give. And then we get to create joy out of the darkness, little beacons of light who say a lot of random stuff. Like, my leg sleeve won't go up, and I have basil eyes, and can you turn it outside out, please? Being a parent often involves a significant amount of translation. The most obvious of this is helping other people understand our little tiny people and what they are saying. They're just starting to get their words. They're just starting to say things, and maybe you kind of understand if you're outside the circle, but now parents, we've learned this language. Amma, sanitizer, please? Huh? Means, Mom, can I use a hand sanitizer, please? Or, Ba, forget backpack. Means, Ba, don't forget my backpack. But being a parent also means translating different methods of parenting from their catchphrase into actual usable tools, such as free-range parenting, a method of parenting where you give your child more freedom and flexibility than most kids get these days. A tool of free-range parenting might use is teaching their child how to navigate their neighborhood so they can walk by themselves to their friend's house without getting lost. Or there's gentle parenting, a method of parenting where you take a more empathetic approach. Cool, the fan just fell out of the window. We'll fix it, don't worry. So the point of gentle parenting is to try not to yell when you're frustrated. It's hard. One tool that you might use in this kind of situation is to be understanding when a kid is dragging their feet to get out the door. This is something that happens every single day. You can say to them, I know that transitions are hard for you, and they're hard for me too. And it hurts my feelings when you call me names. So can you please try to be kind as we go through our day? There's also a parenting method that a lot of people don't totally understand, and I don't think it really has a catchy name, which sees people as children who aren't skilled at emotional regulation. So it's our job as parents to help them feel safe when they're upset, to stay with them when they're crying, to encourage them to stomp on the ground when they're mad and hit furniture instead of hurting other people. And we connect deeply with them through play. All of these parenting tools have positives and negatives and have to be translated into what works for individual families. They also have to be translated to other adults in your lives, like grandparents and teachers. Like, how do you explain to a teacher that the best way to deal with Trudy's crying is to sit with her while she cries, rather than tell her that she's got to stop now? It's too loud. There's also a lot of translation in being a Unitarian Universalist. It's one of the many skills we learn as we experience pluralism. We don't all come from the same faith backgrounds, but we are able to speak about our experiences with one another. We're able to understand that when someone here says, let's say a prayer, that it could mean a lot of different things, but it's likely that we can safely translate that word prayer to mean what it likely means in the context, a moment to be still and think about important stuff together. We do baby dedications instead of baptisms or baby naming rituals as they do in Judaism, but they all serve the same purpose, to acknowledge the life of a new young person joining our congregation. We do coming of age instead of a bar or bat mitzvah or a confirmation, but they serve the same purpose, asking our youth to think deeply about what it means to be part of our religious community and letting them choose how they want to live into this commitment. Sometimes we get caught up in the meaning of words, trying to make our language exactly communicate what it is we mean to say without any danger of misunderstanding, but unfortunately, that's just not possible. Because words are wibbly wobbly. They can mean such different things in different contexts. The act of translation can't be done without a willingness to learn more about the context and the people involved. Google Translate can be a lifesaver in a pinch, but it can miss the nuances of meaning. So here's an example. Two phrases that literally have the same meaning, but mean very different things in context. Or I guess just words, but so here we are, chill and cool. They could mean the same thing, right? We can bring the temperature down, but chill can also mean having a relaxing time. And cool usually means, wow, that's awesome or fashionable. Those words don't mean the same thing. So when we sing our closing song not too long from now, and the word God comes up, you are encouraged to take that word and make it mean whatever you think it should mean. Like in our reading last week, there are truly more names for God than we can count, more names for the holy. And one little word is woefully inadequate to hold all the meaning implied. So you can translate it. Maybe for you, God's an acronym. G-O-D could mean great old dude. Green, orange, dandelion. Grace overcoming darkness. Or maybe you could flip it and it could be the almighty dog. Or you could ignore the word entirely if you need to. Once a singer in a church choir told me that instead of the word God, she sings the very passionately the word cod in any song that she's singing that has the word God in it. Cod. So when singing, We Are, which is our hymn that we're going to sing in just a few minutes, keep in mind the context of the song, including the creator of the song, Issei Barnwell, who's a Black woman, who's a singer-songwriter, and a Unitarian Universalist. When she says, we are the Spirit of God in all our iterations, you may think she's speaking of the Holy Spirit or Creator or something else altogether. I won't know if you're singing about codfish or about the divine, so it's up to you to make the meaning. So let's rise now in body or in spirit to sing our closing hymn. We are number 10, I think it's 1051, is that right? 1051 in the teal softcover hymnal. preparation for our closing, let's reach out to one another and hold hands. If you do not want to have your hands held, go ahead and put your arm over your chest. That's fine as well. When you go and interpret the world through the eyes of love. When you go in peace.
Leave this place knowing that you are good and knowing that you are loved. Take your light and your dark and your love from this place, share them with the world, and stay safe until we meet again. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy coffee hour and conversation. Have a great week.